Everyone for hanging out. Everyone's having a great Thursday wherever you're at. Rolling on. Ooh, look, we're playing our Spirits deck against someone whose username is Spirit DK. I'm always so torn about hands like this in these collected company decks. Like, am I supposed to keep this? Like, can I realistically keep a hand that doesn't make a play till turn 3 if I'm on the play? Like, does Path to Exile allow me to keep a hand like this? So, like, here's the problem, though. So, like, I look at this deck. I guess I have a lot of plays before turn 3. Someone asked about Birds of Paradise in this deck, and I do think running more mana creatures is generally ideal in a deck like this, because you just have such a huge glut of 3-drops in this deck. So, like, Modern is a format that's generally about tempo, and like hands like this just like don't generate any, like this is another hand, right? Like you even look at this curve here, like it looks like we have a bunch of 2s, but like these actually aren't 2-drops, right? These are like pseudo 3+ drops. So like do I keep this because I'm at 6? I think I'm supposed to mulligan again. Like there's the unkeepable 5, right? I think I'm supposed to keep this and look for a green source so we can collect a company to get back into it. Which we hit at least, so. Like I said, these decks often feel to me like they simultaneously have too many lands and not enough lands. Like, in the early game, you can often struggle to hit your 4th mana source. In the late game, you flood out pretty consistently. So, we'll see. I think erring on the side of playing more mana creatures is often good in decks like these. A lot of these tribal decks have similar parallels to humans while doing what humans does a lot worse. This archetype does get to play collected company, which is different than humans. Sam of Drones, thank you very much for the brand new subscription there. And there's a lot of people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch. Thanks for supporting mine this month with that. Welcome. Opponent said they have to AFK for a second. Walks with Shadows. Thank you for the Twitch Prime support. I do appreciate it. While my opponent's AFK'd anyways, I'd just like to thank everyone for hanging out. If you're enjoying my stuff, please consider doing like Walks with Shadows and Sam of Drones did there and subscribe. My subscribers are the people who keep me employed. I stream here full time, and they are a big part of why I do that. You can also support my stuff by checking out some of my wonderful sponsors. MTGOtraders.com would love to buy and sell some Magic Online cards with you. And if you use code HOGLAN PayPal at checkout with them, you'll save 8% on your singles orders there. CoolStuffInc.com buys and sells a lot of cool stuff, including TCG singles. Hey, Kyle Knott with the 8-month free subscription. Welcome back, bud. I appreciate that. Cool Stuff Inc. buys and sells a lot of cool stuff, including TCG singles. Using promo code Jeff5, you can save 5% on Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards there. Teddy's with the brand new Twitch Prime. Thanks for shipping your fun money this way this month. I do appreciate it. InkedGaming.com would love to help you customize your gaming experience. Using code Jeff12, you save 12% on custom playmats, mouse pads, binders, and bags there. And of course, myself and all the wonderful mods would like to welcome everyone to Hooglandia. Thanks for hanging out, folks. Look at that. A full show plug and my opponent's still AFK. Can you explain why you do not like Jeskai? I love the idea of Jeskai control. It's just decks that don't get free wins in Modern, generally speaking, feel worse than decks that do get free wins. That's why if I was going to play a control deck in Modern, I would prefer it be something like Jeskai Nahiri or that Possibility Storm deck that we just got done playing, where some amount of the time I'm going to oops kill my opponent. Gotta support modern content produced by a person who has wasted too much time studying math. Well, I appreciate it. We are a bastion of Modern in a sea of Standard and Cube. Lots of non-rotating formats here. So Jeskai consistently puts up good results. It has the right tool. I think if you get a chance, you'll want to watch. We started with Jeskai today. I think the league we played with Jeskai this morning really kind of exemplifies some of the holes that the deck has, and like the awkwardness where sometimes your stuff just doesn't line up right and you just kind of get run out of it. Burgle, I actually need you to work on Possibility Storm with me. We do have a green source on top. We just 5-0'd with blue-red Possibility Storm, and I think it might be good. I think it might be. I'm gonna post it in Discord right now for you to think about, actually. While we're waiting here. I think this is it. Opponent questioning their life choices, right? So many people play Just Can't My Stern Lost Woman has electrolytes to blow my out. I feel like it's a buy for spirits. Yeah, tempo decks tend to be favored in general against control, I feel like, especially if you're playing well and running average. Sure, but that's not the first time we've played the blue-red deck, and I'm aware that, like, the burn matchup is bad, and we ran very well to beat the burn matchup, but I think, in general, what the blue-red deck is doing is powerful and consistent. I'm not playing Brawl. We did one Brawl League, and best of one is awful. Playing Standard Light is kind of awful. So, just didn't feel very good. Details on the Discord are here. The mid-range decks are quite different from Storm. You are not wrong. Having played Jeskai for a year, I'd much rather play the Possibility Storm. Jeff just played because the combo kill can free win. Yeah, I really feel like people undervalue having good consistent mana in Modern. I feel like people see fetches and shocks and they're just like, it's all free. You can cast all the spells whenever you want. When in reality, Modern's a format that's very much about, like, your health total is very important against a lot of decks in Modern. So, like, not taking a bunch of damage from your lands is very important. Am I still playing Paper Magic events? Sparingly. I played a Team 5K event that Nerd Rage Gaming hosted in Chicago last weekend. And then I might go to the Open in Indianapolis next month. If Matt goes, I'll probably go. If Matt goes, I'll probably go. My opponent said they had something with their kids, which I can understand. How did that event go? Matt went 7-0. I went 4-3. Our standard player won one match, I think. No, Burgle, that was the second time we'd played that deck though, Burgle. It was the second time we played the Possibility Storm deck. I know it's good when it's shiny and new, but that was the second time we played that one. No. See, chat thought we were mulliganing too aggressively. In reality, I was just mulliganing to make sure we had more cards in our deck against this mill opponent. In reality, I just wanted to give myself the best possible edge against Mill. What did Matt play? Matt played Grixis Delver because he likes winning. Is there any way to leverage Possibility Storm with the other card types, like the artifact packages of EE or Batterskull or Platinum Empyrean? Emrakul's just... So... One of the things Emrakul and Gristlebrand do is they're just the objectively best things that you can be cheating into play. So, like, there's all these other neat things that you could consider for corner cases, and then at the end of the day, you realize that I should just put fucking Emrakul into play. There's lots of like really cute things you could be saying to yourself, and at the end of the day, you're like, nah, I should just Emrakul people. This is the first match with Spirits here. No, I don't think so. Look, no numbers. I think that seems really narrow. I think that sounds like fucking with a good thing. You want to add in consistency to the deck and add a worse. I mean, the account name Magic AIDS is like super obnoxious and offensive and shouldn't be used. I have no idea. Like, a lot of people said they like it. They like his deck list, and that's great. But like, using the name Magic Aids for your content is obnoxious. I think we're dead, chat. I think we're dead. Yeah, let's just concede before they see more of our deck here. They already have the gist, but that's not how you spell AIDS, Demi-Eyes. And guess what? There's lots of other things you could name. You could name your thing to translate that you want to help people without doing that. That name was either they were very ignorant when they picked out that name or they did it intentionally. And either way, it's just not. Yeah, AIDS is what you want there. There are AIDS. That's true. That definitely beats Mill. You're not wrong. I don't know. Maybe I'm outside of the norm. Yeah, I agree. It's still rude. There are plenty of other things they could have named their content. Oh, we're talking because apparently this YouTuber got their Magic Online account banned. My badge is back, and what is this other badge? Cankle Biter. Thanks for re-upping the Twitch Prime. The circlet there is the new cheer badge. So we have custom cheer badges. They're circlets for 10k bits to 75k bits, and at 100k bits they turn into crowns. Comparing something in a children's card game to a disease that literally kills people and ruins lives of families is obnoxious and unnecessary. Regardless of how bad you think something is in your children's card game, it is not as bad as a disease that literally kills people. And if you think it's fine to talk about that and use that in your everyday language, like that's fine. You're entitled to go do that somewhere else. But we are also allowed to tell you, hey, you're not welcome in communities like this one here if you're going to do that. Anonomic with the cheers. I really want to see Delver Deck of Choice do something good, even though it probably won't. I'm going to go see that YouTuber cry for a bit, so be a thanks for the bits. I'll add those to the Delver deck. Yep. It's very easy to change small things about the way, even if you're comfortable with something like that. And like, there's other people, I've heard people say things like, oh, I've had AIDS or I've had cancer, so I can make a joke like that. And like, well, even if you're okay with a joke like that, because while it's affected your life directly, other people might not be. And it doesn't cost you anything to possibly improve the lives of someone else to just not use those types of words in your vocabulary. I think that Wizards of the Coast is a private organization and they're fucking allowed to do literally whatever they want within the legal confines of the laws. Actually, fun fact, one of my buddies when Magic Online first was released, he had the username BYE, and he consistently got free wins and events with it so much that they required him to change his account name. That's fucking great. All right, that's fine. I'm just gonna flash in Drogskol here. It's quite fantastic. Yeah. Yeah, they made him that one. You're not allowed to use that one anymore, with good reason, but it's still funny. No, they just like didn't show up to the computer because like the old daily events, if I recall, they didn't pair your match right away. Like they paired you and then you went into it. So like you'd just like you'd see that you were paired to buy and then like walk away from your computer. All right, well, we're doing our thing here. We're doing our thing. We're running. The opponent stumbled a little bit, and we're going to give him the business. Blue-red did 5-0. All right. Yeah, it's going to run it back. It's going to run it back. Blue-red was a possibility storm deck. This hand is very good. This is like one of our more fantastic hands. Here we get to go turn 1 this, turn 2 Geist of Saint Trash, and then we have Selfless Spirit and Wanderer to back it up. Back it up. Back. Don't crab me. Don't crab me. No, stop it. Just a Fatal Push. Probably a Fatal Push. I think I'm still just supposed to jam Noble on 1 here. It could be Visions from Beyond too. It is Vision. Sweet. So hopefully they did have an archive trap there though. So this was a free mill 13 because we searched our deck this turn. You whispered me, Justin. Sorry, Justin. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. He wanted me to D-Knight you, Divik, so he could have his way with you. You kids need to behave, okay? Don't make me come back there. All right, we have a very quick clock here. And, like, we have Negate plus Wanderer plus Selfless Spirit up starting next turn. So, exclamation point donation queue. This might be the last deck we play today. If this league goes quickly, I'm going to squeeze in 1 more. But usually I try to play 4 to 5 decks a day. Jeff will turn this meme around. Don't test him. I think we just go like Wanderer pass here, right? Mod swords are given out. You're knighted in Hoaglandia at 12 months. 12 month subscribers are knighted and given swords to defend the realm. And select others. People I know in real life. People that keep the realm. People that keep the realm funded. Do we get the password to the account? No, not quite. So I think I'm supposed to go Mausoleum Wanderer and Selfless Spirit here. Am I? Maybe I'm just supposed to hold Negate up. Because I don't have lethal next turn regardless, right? Hey, test subject with the brand new tier 1 sub. Thank you very much and welcome. I do appreciate that. Yeah, because I lose Exalted here if I attack with everything. So I'll only be hitting for 1, 3, 7 next turn. So I think I'm just supposed to hold Negate up and pass here. I mean, if they wrath me, I'd like have Selfless Spirit or Mausoleum Wanderer. The question is like, do I need to hold it up to like counter their mill? Which is potentially I do. Crypt Incursion's a good one. Yeah, that's a big reason to hold Negate up here. No, if they pass with mana up, we don't want to activate Moorland Haunt because the opponent can Crypt Incursion us. I think not having any counterspells up here would be a bad idea. So, do I just trade this Mausoleum Wanderer for this Mind Funeral? I think I do, right? I can activate Moorland Haunt, which makes this a 2/2, and then I sacrifice this to counter this. I think that's the line here. And then I get to hold my Negate up for next turn. And then I get to, like, play Spirit plus hold Negate up still. Sure. I'm just gonna play Spirit plus hold Negate up. I'm probably not supposed to risk, Moorland Haunt made us that token. Yeah, ideally we're not cracking the fetch unless we have to. Spirit insulates us from Damnation without having to use the Negate. But I guess if they Damnation and we Negate, that would be fine. It seems like we're in an okay spot here. Yeah, I could see an argument being made for just, like, not playing the Spirit here. Oh yeah, the Field of Ruin could force us to search anyways. Yeah, so I definitely should play the Spirit because they could force us to search. You agree with all the colorless lands in this deck. They're definitely useful. There's definitely a non-zero amount of games where they're great. If you type !deck in chat, you can get a link. So this way you don't have to like manually screenshot and copy and transpose. Nice and clean. I'm gonna restart Moto really quick here because it's really laggy. Hemorrhaging memory like no other. We did find the line to attack. It was impressive. We did in fact manage to attack with the squad. 1-0 start with Spirits. Yeah, we pretty much only play friendly leagues on this stream. The friendly leagues and competitive leagues are very similar in deck and player caliber quality, and the friendly leagues just have a flatter prize structure, so you're gambling less. I think I'd rather have mana creatures than Aether Vial's Kinklebiter. Just, like, getting to 3-drop sooner is really powerful, I think. And, like, because your stuff mostly has flash anyways, the upside you gain from Aether Vial is more minimal. Yeah, Moto's been worse than normal since Vintage Cube went online yesterday. Their servers are definitely not used to the added load. You should be able to grant bit badges. Justin, I will love you just as much if you cheer instead of donating directly. You can cheer like the other kids. You can cheer like the other kids. All right, once more into the breach. Justin's just upset that he doesn't have a crown. That's just more work, Xeron. And Stream Decker often has load issues, so I don't want to add to their load issues. I'm gonna keep this. I need some more lands, but Wander on 1 plus a path seems good. Old Bay Ray, thank you for the 4-month resubscription. Third of a year, welcome back. We have ourselves a tribal off here. This matchup's probably tough for us. I'd assume we're a much worse linear deck than what the opponent's doing. And, like, they can't block us in the air and we can't block them because of Island Walk. So it's just, like, gonna come down to, like, Lord on Lord action, and they have way more Lords than we do. Double Path is pretty good for us. I think I'm going to make a Silvergill Adept here. One that replaces itself is like D's plus. Phantasmal Image is pretty bad in general against Merfolk, especially with the addition of Merfolk Trickster. They have lots of ways to just diddle it out of play. Revealed Master. Which, sure, we didn't have to reveal a Merfolk. What win percentage do you need to have to do well at a Grand Prix? Like 90%? You have to like 13-2. Even at large Grand Prix, 13-2 even misses top 8 still occasionally. Poor decisions, Canklebiter, or fantastic decisions? You be the judge. You be the judge. They could be fantastic decisions. People get really upset, chicks, when they're very invested in something and they hear someone say that that thing might not be perfect. So the idea, see, and this is a lot of the toxicity that comes out of Magic where people get hostile is that, like, Magic's a very expensive game, right? So, like, I don't have anything invested in Jeskai control. So if I can look at it and go, this doesn't feel awkward, or it feels awkward, or it feels like these had these holes, and I don't lose anything by thinking this deck is less than perfect. Whereas people that have, like, you know, spent the $1,000 that it costs to build this Magic deck, they feel like it's attached to their person, and it validates or invalidates the decisions that they have made when someone else says it's good or bad. So a lot of people view you talking poorly about whatever their pet deck is, especially in a non-rotating format like Modern, as a personal affront to them. And maybe I should have left this back last turn. Hi, waifu. Possible I should have left this back. I just assumed they were going to have another Lord, but they didn't, so we got kind of punished for not leaving Silvergill back. And I don't think it's right that people do that and that they react that way, but I can understand where they're coming from and why they feel so wrapped up in what their deck is. Goose, you do currently have a sub-icon next to your name. Probably... If it didn't send the notification, if you're resubbing, you need to refresh your browser page and then send it through again. How would you compare the Spirits deck to a deck like Fairies? I don't know. I haven't played Fairies recently, although it is getting close in the queue. Jace with the 15-month resubscription. Thank you very much and welcome back. I do appreciate that. Matt Man with the 25 months. Thanks, bud. Thanks for putting up with me for so long. Thanks, everyone, for hanging out. Just battling some Magic the Gathering. Opponent's flooding a little bit. We might actually, on the back of these couple of path tags, that's a good one. I think we just company here, right? We just like company and try and slam them. On the edge of building Grizzlebrand and paper. I think the deck is great. I think if you enjoy playing combo decks, it's arguably one of the best combo decks in Modern. I'm going to do this now because it powers up Wanderer, and we can also hit more Drogskulls. Yo. God bless us, everyone. Wow, with this Path to Exile here, I think we're going to actually win this race now. Hey, Goose, there you go. Harder Daddy, 5-0 possibilities room. Thank you for the 2 months. Thanks for re-upping and welcome back. I mean, that was a pretty medium company, and it was still decent for us, right? It was good for me. Was it good for you, Chad? It was good for me. There is a deck list on your screen if you're on the computer using the Stream Decker add-on. If you're on mobile, you can type !deck to get a link to the deck list in chat. We were very fortunate to win that game. Like I said, I think this matchup's probably a little bit bad for us on average, but we definitely they didn't draw many lords and we drew a lot of paths. Engineered Explosives and Subtle are both great, I think. I'm actually kind of surprised that there's no like Wrath of God in the sideboard of this deck. With 4 Selfless Spirits, playing some Wrath of God seems like kind of a free roll. I think the Worship is okay. A lot of fish decks haven't been playing Vapor Snag recently, right? Geist of Saint Trash is probably pretty bad here. They come up the ground pretty well, so this card's not going to be able to attack in very profitably most times, I think. Once upon a time, fish had Vapor Snag. If they don't have Vapor Snag, Worship is very good. How do we feel about this? How do we feel about this? I think I like this. Has anyone ever told you we could change it? It's weird, Full Metal. My computer's so loud. Why didn't they invent a way for me to adjust the volume level on this thing? Why didn't we? You think the Pridemage is better? I don't know. I think that's close. I think, like, Geist is basically Boros Charm at worst, right? I think, like, leaving one Geist in as a Boros Charm seems fine. I don't think we really care about spreading seas by and large. I think we're going to have islands anyways, so, like, we probably can't block to begin with if they have lords. And, like, Vial is card disadvantaged by and large for my opponent a lot of the time, so unless they keep an especially landlight hand, we're not going to steal anything. That's actually a really interesting idea, Ishia. Like, a Jeskai Probability Storm deck? That actually sounds really neat, because, like, you want the Emrakul anyways for the Nahiri, and, like, Nahiri's a way to loot through it. Maybe we need to test that. That sounds like a lot of 4 and 5s, though. Like, Nahiri and Possibility Storm is a lot of clunk. I don't know, that sounds really interesting, though. Yeah, you couldn't play the Blue Moon package, right? Like, you couldn't play Blood Moon Spreading Seas, but you definitely would cut Jace. You'd probably... What the fuck is that? Sure? Resolves? I assume Silvergill Adept is a wizard? So unfortunately only gives other spirits hexproof. Half of the fish are also wizards. Alright, hopefully we draw a land here. And get to company next turn. Do I want to play this Phantasmal Image? Twin Toin, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month. I think I want to image a Noble Hierarch here, actually. Just, like, guarantee more mana in case they want to bounce my thing again. It also, like, gives me an extra point of damage on this attack, which is nice. Twin to win. Wonder what card you want unbanned. Wonder what card you want unbanned. Master of Waves is also a wizard. That's a big one. Doubling Master of Waves is like big game. Well, that's a bag of dicks. That is. That could have gone a little bit better, chat. Could have been a little bit better. For thankfully we drew a land. Thankfully we drew a land. Alright, so we did not die on this next combat, and then we can stick worship. So this is 8, 9, 10. So another Lord is lethal, right? Another Lord is 11 unblockable exactly. Yep. Alright, we'll take the third game on the play here. Was a little bit rough. We got tempoed really hard there. A lot of bounce. Yeah, like they did like their best like Reflector Mage impression, right? It's like pick your shit up, pick your shit up, pick your shit up. Just whoop, whoop. We are 1-0 in this league. We are currently heading to game 3 in the second match. Yeah, I don't know. Just like playing a 2-1 for 2 has a pretty real cost in a format like Modern. So like, are you getting enough upside from him to be worth playing a 2-1 for 2 is like what it comes down to. You should avoid those ones, Cletus. You will be happier for doing so. Well, this is probably the best card in our deck in this matchup, so I'm going to keep this one. I think I want to keep this. I read some of BBD's... BBD posted something on Facebook about the format feeling less degenerate than normal Modern, which, like, you know, makes sense. Like, Chalice of the fucked up Chalice of the Void Eldrazi keeps all the degenerate stuff in check. You get spell pierced off this explosives and feel real bad. I think I'm going to get a Temple Garden here, because I have the Noble Hierarch on top to make blue with. Nothing. The Eldrazi decks ran over the no-ban-less Modern format. Just destroyed almost everything. Meddling Mage isn't a trigger. So that card doesn't have any impact on it. I wonder if I'm supposed to play the Flooded Strand there and pass with Spell Queller. You're probably supposed to play Flooded Strand and pass with Spell Queller there. Meddling Mage is a replacement effect as it enters the battlefield, so it does not trigger. I did fetch, didn't I? And then Magic Online did its typical no shuffle bullshit and it didn't matter. That's really funny. I just didn't even connect that I was fetching. Just Magic Online things, chat. Just Magic Online things. That's so funny. I just completely glazed over the fact that I was shuffling. And then Moto didn't change the top card of our deck. God bless it. God bless us, everyone. So, I'm gonna, for people that are new, we don't have enough data to show for a fact that the Magic Online Shuffler is or isn't bugged. The only thing we know for a fact, however, is that we can assume that the Magic Online Shuffler code has been written with the same pristine quality as the rest of Magic Online. That's probably a safe assumption. I mean, I passed the turn in my Collected Company deck, right? Like, not attacking there, it doesn't exactly take a rocket scientist. I also have, like, the Engineered Explosives on, too. That's true. If we shuffle and then draw the card I wanted anyways, that's basically like a called shot, right? Gonna drop Drogskol here. Now, I think with the EE and the Path and the Spell Queller, I'm kind of just in an okay spot to do what I want here. I'm basically Spell Quelling anything they cast here, I think. Because if they want to play a Lord post-combat, then I get to clean a Lord plus the rest of these. And I really just want to get my Spell Queller into play because I need to kill my opponent. So like this turn, I'm going to take my 6, I'm going to crack this EE, I'm going to activate this Township, and I'm going to smash my opponent for a bunch. Drawing this even lets us hold up Path as well. We're actually in a very good spot to win this game, huh? This is 7, 8, 9, and then we have 13 next turn exactly, actually. Yeah, they're dead on board. They have to block. Well, they're not dead on board because they have a blocker right now. They have a chump blocker, but we do have 13 damage on board. I think I'm going to untap here before I play this path because I want to play around Spell Pierce. And we just have them pretty dead here. They could have like a Vapor Snag, I guess, but even that's still pretty good for us. Sweet. Feels good to steal this. Like I said, probably a hard matchup for us, so nice to sneak it out. Alright. Attack with 4 lethal attackers. Merfolk isn't a hard matchup for anyone. It's funny because it's true. All right. 2-0 with Bant Spirits. Feeling good so far. Feeling good so far. I heard Merfolk wins the mirror 100% of the time. Yeah, if in the stream information, Isha, if you click the MTG decks button, it'll take you to my general stream decker page, and you can see all my past decks there. It'll also be underneath the YouTube video when I format that after I'm done streaming today. They can also draw. That's fair. That's fair. They can also draw. When you try to get a bingo square and instead get a timeout. Baiting bingo squares is dangerous business, okay? It's not for the faint of heart. And I gotta be careful. The pistols are ready. Hoglandia doesn't fuck around. Flameblade Adept. I wonder how this matchup goes. This deck's missing True Name. That card is so offensive. Your ad blocker was stopping Stream Decker from working. That's interesting. I guess it makes sense. It's basically kind of a pseudo pop-up. This deck's bad against humans, and it's bad against Hallowed One. Sounds right. Pretty sure we want to stick this into play so we can counter a Goblin Lord next turn. I think I'm just going to pass with Rattlechains up. Yeah, Reflector Mage seems like it would be a good card in this matchup for sure. Sending their Hallowed Ones back from where they came or their Delve threats. Both are very reasonable. I got you, Night Stars. Are always happy to provide the full Hoglandian experience here. Are you playing Reflector Mages, though? I could see it being closer to even if you have access to Reflector Mage. But with just Path to Exiles, their things are pretty big. Is that Collective Brutality? Alright, well. I guess in case they're playing some weird Spirit Guides, I'll play this Rattlechains. We'll have to see when it gets here, LQ. We'll have to see when it gets here. I guess I actually don't. I could just let the drain happen here, and I can protect this. Because it doesn't take... Yeah, I guess I actually just let this happen, right? I just, like, protect this and keep my threat out. Well, we were in an okay spot, and they played Hallowed One. Ugh. think I just pass here, and we'll flash in Selfless Spirit inside of combat. And then we can, like, go Selfless Spirit plus Noble Hierarch, Fog, the Flameblade Adept, stack Wanderer and Rattlechains to trade with the Hallowed one. The problem is that, like, they have these other Bloodghast coming into play next turn. I just have to let this happen, I think. As with every deck that has it when we hit 4 mana, would really like to draw Collected Company. It's definitely a droid we are looking for at this point. Because the token is never declared as an attacker. And by that I mean Magic is intuitive and easy to understand. So a creature attacking and a creature being declared as an attacker are functionally different in Magic. Which feels weird to say, but it's the case. So we block like this. We're going to sack the Selfless Spirit. So we'll basically trade Selfless Spirit to gain 4 and kill the Hallowed one. Playing this out proactively to trigger my Mausoleum Wanderer here. There's a lot of things in Magic that are well done and intuitive, but there's also a pretty significant portion of the rules that it's just like, why does that work that way? That doesn't make sense. I think as a mathematician, the thing that annoys me the most about Magic's rule set is the way Conflagrate is worded really bothers me. Okay. I'd like double Drogskol Captain, please. Single Captain's not enough to be lethal, right? Yeah, I'm 3 short. So, how much do I want to hit for them here? Hitting them for at least 5. This card doesn't fly. Yeah, it does. This card flies. Kira isn't flying. Where are you? You're going to time out. Did you have a sub icon? She'd tell me my spirit doesn't fly. All right, so do I want to leave this back to block with? Conflagrate tells you the way Conflagrate is worded mathematically, you should be able to target any number of things in play for 0 damage. But if you look on the Gatherer, that's not a legal play. We did 5-0 with Possibility Storm. So, I don't want to block with Drogskol. So I think I'm supposed to leave Rattlechains back for next turn. I'm just going to attack like this. I think with the Geist we could probably kill them. Confirmed checks for spew protection. Live by the great, live by the cocoa, die by the cocoa. Das cocoa, yeah. I'm not bringing in worship against the collective brutality deck. I'm not bringing in worship against the collective brutality deck. I'm not bringing in worship against the collective. Does anybody else need to clarify why I'm not bringing in worship? I just want to make sure. I'm clear. I think this is a Geist Kira out matchup. What do we think? Think I want to cut these four? Is Eidolon good enough? I feel like by the time you get Eidolon into play, its text box is no longer relevant, and then you have a 3-mana 1/4. Oh, Rest in Peace is pretty decent. Yeah, I could see Rip being okay. What else do I want to trim, though? I'm pretty confident I want these. Trim Queller? Queller's, like, good at blocking, though. Is Image a safe trim? Like, Image gets to copy their 5/5s and their 4/4s. I feel like I could cut Rattlechains more than anything. Seems a little mediocre. I'm gonna do that. Get like this. Like I said, by no means an expert. I think leaving in Selfless Spirit because it generates good combat steps for us is good. Selfless Spirit was a big part of why we won that first game, where it allowed us to fog an attack plus trade for a Hallowed one. It's a good draw. Get to fetch some basic lands with this hand too, which is nice. Take minimal amount of damage from our mana base. Enduring Ideal, we lost 2 close games to Affinity. We lost 2 close matches to Affinity, and we got dumpstered by a control deck. Why does Jackal Pup have Menace? Why does this Jackal Pup have Menace? Why does this Jackal Pup have Menace? Anybody know? Anybody know why the Jackal Pup has Menace? It's a very scary pup, right? There's a link to the Possibility Storm deck in my MTG Decks link. It's down under the stream. I'll get you to my general stream decker page. I'll also be listed underneath the YouTube video when I get that processed and published later tonight. He's so scurry looking. Well, that could have gone better, chat. That could have gone better for us. Is this the last deck of the day? I don't know yet. It's only 2 o'clock. I got over 1,000 people. I might play one more. Maybe I'll run a little bit late tonight. I can't be on tomorrow. I don't want to be on tomorrow while what's it called is going on, while the GP is going on, so maybe I'll just run a little late today. Cowards can't block Flame Blade Adepts. guess I have a path here. If we draw a Collected Company, we'll keep playing. If we don't have a good Collected Company next turn, I'm going to pack it in. Just have too many menacing things. Did they not do a deck tech for the meme? Because I'd love to watch it. Dude, they did. It should be on the coverage page. Yeah, I might be on Sunday. I might also do... So the GP is on wrong coast time. So they're 2 hours behind me. So they don't start till like 1 o'clock here. So I might fire up like Saturday morning for a little bit or Sunday morning for a little bit. It's nothing personal, West Coasters. It's just there's the coast on the right side of the country and the wrong side of the country. The opposite of the right side is the wrong side, right? That's how that has to work. I think my moto might have locked up. Yep, smells like moto locked up. It's a feature, chat. It's a feature. So we're going to upkeep path this, so they can't activate it yet, and the land is tapped for the turn, so they don't get the extra mana on this turn. Fuck me. Fuck me. Seriously? I deserve that. I didn't click off. I deserve that. I deserve that. I deserve that. Yep. So for those that didn't see what happened, I was talking about pathing my opponent's Grimlavamancer on their upkeep because they only had 1 card in their graveyard and I didn't want them to have 3 mana this turn. And they had a Street Wraith to cycle to add a 2nd card to their graveyard to them Grimlavamancer thing. So got very, very punished for waiting. Anonomic. If you go to Star City's homepage and scroll to the very bottom, there's a button that says Coverage Archives. And there's a link, and the Coverage Archives is just a page of all the stuff they've done. You should find the Milwaukee thing there, and if you click into there, it should be very easy to find the thing. I'm gonna snap this trade if they offer it. Feel like I just got punished there. Maybe. Double Flameblade Adept is real scurry. They're going to hit us for a minimum of 6 this turn when they flashback this Faithless Looting. Possibly more if they have something obnoxious like Goblin Lore or Street Wraith. It's a delve threat. Hopefully it's fish. They have to delve the Faithless Looting. If it's Tastiger, they get to keep the looting. Okay, that's like okay-ish for us, I guess. That's not bad. Oh my god. I just clicked through. I guess we're just doing this and passing now. Probably should have done this and cracked them for 4. Sure. I guess they don't have a way to discard cards here, but of course they do. Yeah. Alright, we're very dead. It didn't, yeah, ultimately didn't matter. Just gonna get run over there. And I believe this matchup is pretty hard if you don't have access to things like Reflector Mage. Reflector Mage seems like it'd be a pretty powerful card to have access to in that matchup. If we can just, like, keep them off tempo a little bit. I definitely made... I don't know if it was a mistake to not play around Street Wraith there. Like, giving them 3 mana on turn 2 lets them really get out far ahead of us. Like, obviously the Grim Lavamancer has to go. But, like, is it wrong to, like, give them the ability to Street Wraith to kill our thing? Because, like, if we would have kept our 1-drop, like, we would have pushed a lot of damage that game and potentially have been able to race there appropriately. I think it's pretty okay. It's a 2-drop. Or a Mana Dork on 1, but it's pretty good otherwise. Sign me up. For the low price of $10, you can buy a new account. Tron. I am happy. I love Candy Canklebiter. I proudly rock my dad bod, thank you. I am fat and I am proud. Kinda. I'm just gonna like natural Tron us here and then put us in the ground. I guess I could have shocked this in, and then I could have played Mausoleum Wanderer this turn too, but I liked leaving the option up to cast Collected Company potentially, I think. Alright, so we're gonna get... They're gonna do the thing next turn. Do I just want a company now? Do I want a company? I feel like I want a company now. Are those good? How do we feel about those ones? Don't natural Tron Ugin me, bro. Don't do it. Have a heart. Can we beat a Karn here? Probably not. Karn kills Drogskol, which means we don't have lethal in the air, right? We only have 2, 3, 4, 5, or we'd have 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're 1 short if we get Karned. This is the downside to taking the aggressive line I took. Is that lethal? No, I'm 1 mana short. Yeah, land. No, we wouldn't have had lethal because we don't have a creature in our graveyard. I'm gonna copy my Selfless Spirit here. So we have 9, and they're at 10. My body is ready to die to Ugin. Maybe I should have saved that company for instant speed. If I would have instant speeded the company, we would have killed them. So we would have protected our Spell Queller with the captain, and then untapped and imaged the captain and dealt lethal. So maybe playing the company out aggressively like I did was wrong. It could still be wrong. Regardless of whether or not we won or lost there, that doesn't determine if our action was right or wrong. Alright, so we've got rejections, negates, Stony Silence. Kira comes out for sure. I feel about Phantasmal Image and Path to Exile this matchup. Are these things we can cut? Yeah, definitely, Tom. Because we'd have had 2 lords. Because I'd have image the lord. How do we feel about not having Stony Silence on the draw? It's pretty slow on the draw. I think I like this. Yeah, we have like 4 Selfless Spirit and 4 counter spells to stop O-Stone. I'm gonna do this. Pretty easy redraw here. This is a real shame, like, either of these 3 cards in the center were a green source that seemed to be the net. Can I keep this hand because it's the nut with the green source? We're pretty unlikely to win on the draw regardless, right? Can I keep this hand because it's the nut with the green source? God, there's so few green sources in this deck. 15. Burgle's right. We're going to regret our decisions regardless, so I'm going to keep. Hey, take 2. I don't know. I think we're pretty unlikely to win a game on the draw against them, so like keeping a speculative hand that like has good potential payoff seems reasonable. Oh, these paths suck. Saying there's a chance. The 6 neither killed my opponent nor interacted with my opponent in a meaningful way in the cards that we cared about. So again, if you want to disagree with one of my decisions on stream, you have to explain yourself. You need to say, I think that 6 was keepable because, and then try and have a conversation with me. You don't just get to come up in my chat and tell me I'm wrong. That's going to get you a 10-minute break. For instance, I mulliganed that hand because I feel we need to either interact with our opponent or have an aggressive draw and kill them with like a quick Geist of St. Traft. This 4 is actually better than that 6 was, in my opinion. Especially once we found the Spell Queller on top after our 2-drop here. Just gonna shock myself to death, because if they get a threat, it probably doesn't matter. I think people like to keep hands like that 6 against Tron and then complain that they never had a chance against Tron because they kept a hand that didn't do anything, so they just fucking died. Like, that 6 is a great hand to keep if you want an excuse for why the Tron deck is unfair and you didn't have any chance against it. That's unfortunate. I got you, cat. Contortion's very good there. I assume we're just conceding to whatever bomb they play next turn. Ooh, chat, that's a beatable one. That's a beatable one. I've got discard right here. And maybe my opponent has stone nothing left, and we're going to attack them 4 times with these Rattlechains and kill them. Or we're going to get Ulamog next turn. One of those 2 things is true. They either have stone nothing or are about to get Ulamogged. The one single card that we can beat. Alright, in the event they have stone nothing, we have draws to kill them next turn. Aw, man, they had a thing. Aw, man, they had a thing. My article on gatheringmagic.com tomorrow morning, Friday morning, will be all about Jeskai Ascendancy combo, and it'll be talking about some budget options for if you want to budget the mana base or the ley lines and stuff like that. No, I can't auto-time people out for using it. You correct. You shouldn't assume they're always going to have turn 3 Tron, but like the deck has turn 4 Tron an absurd amount of the time. I just play the decks that are in the queue in the order they're in the queue. So, if Jeskai Ascendancy gets to the top of the list, we'll play that. People that haven't looked at the queue for context, there's like 70 decks in there. So that's why I exclusively play decks that are off the list. The Tron deck, for people who are not familiar, is 12 cantrips, Ancient Stirrings to find whatever you need, and then bombs. So the odds of them having nothing while they have those cards in hand is very, very low. Ooh, that's not good for us. That's not good for us. You're about to get living ended, chat. You're about to get living ended. The good news is our start here is very good against Living End. If this Collected Company can grace us with a Spell Queller, we'll be in an amazing spot. We have 2 rips on our board. Every time we've played taking turns on stream, it's just been absolutely rancid. It's a deck that doesn't interact with the board very quickly and just gets run over in my experience. Oh, Wanderer counter's Living End too, that's true. This is sweet here. The fact that they're cycling aggressively here means that I can just like double Rattlechains this turn. I think Damping Sphere is a card that I think this deck could leverage really well. I think it's kind of strange that there's no Damping Spheres on the board. We could get Spirit Guided here. Yeah, I guess I just shouldn't risk it, right? Hey, G-Man, thank you for the 2-month subscription. I have them on a 2-turn clock regardless, so I think risking getting Spirit Guided there is not worth it. I think if playing these out sped up the clock, I'd probably do it, but the fact that it doesn't change the clock means I should just, like, hold my company up. Geist and Saint Trash has definitely punched the clock here. This is definitely one of this deck's most aggressive draws, by and large. All right. 6 looks at 12 cards here. Very good, very good, very good. That's delicious and nutritious. Eidolon, don't mind if it does. Probably trim split of these paths, these Phantasmals. Maybe it's just the paths out. Sometimes they hardcast their things, which is a little bit annoying. No, I don't think Settle's good enough. I think most of the time we're just gonna die after they Living End. Like, we lose all of our threat when they Living End us, so I think, like, bringing in Settle doesn't seem great. I could see maybe trimming some Phantasmal Images and leaving in some path to Exiles, but that's probably just narrow overall. I think I'd rather just have Image to, like, have Drogskol Captain redundancy to have draws to kill them faster. This hand is much too slow. Talking about sideboard cards. Do 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 do. Talking about sideboards. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I wonder if I'm supposed to have Path in my deck because Path is good when we lock them out and they just start casting their bigger shit. Whisper on Twitch or DM on Twitter. Either of those are fine. If you're already a subscriber, you can message me on Discord as well. Sand has a Spirit right here. We've got Spirit. Yes, we do. We've got Spirit. How about you? No, they're just playing around a counterspell here. They're just playing around a counterspell. Simian Spirit Guide is such a fair and balanced Magic the Gathering card. It's well designed all around. That one's Street Wraith's fault too. That's true. If they didn't have Street Wraith, that would have been not particularly good. I mean, this is a hand. It's in my top 3, Burgle. I don't know that it beats Mox Opal or Spirit Guide for me, but it's definitely up there. Street Wraith is probably the most offensive from a game design perspective. Just like what it does for what it costs. I'm going to put my shields down and get exposed to turn 2 here, I think. I think I'm just going to be aggressive here, and if they 2S again, they 2S again. Because, like, if I get to untap with, like, both of these, like, with this pressuring, maybe this is dumb. Not punished. God bless. I don't think we can lose from here, right? Can't lose has been declared. Oh, they can't turn me through the Wanderer. Duh. Yeah, they'd have to have double Spirit Guide. I forgot the Wanderer is a counterspell, too. Okay, yeah, that play is good. Can't lose has been declared, chat, which certainly means we're about to get dumpstered. But I would just like to let the record reflect that can't lose has been declared. They can't even ricochet trap Spell Queller, which is just like the nut. I remember back when my addiction in Modern was playing really bad Spell Stutter Sprite decks. This matchup was always insane for you, just because Spell Stutter Sprite always counters Living End. It's a good time. It's a good time. It's unfortunate that Geist of Saint Trash is a sorcery speed card. God, it would be so good, Burgle, if Mausoleum, if we had a fairy if we had a fairy Curse Catcher. God, that would be so nuts. We have blue-black fairies coming up soon, too. I'm kind of excited to play that deck a little bit more. Take a sweet. I like Bitter Blossom. It's a fun card. It's not a good card, but it's a fun card. They are pretty bad. You're not wrong. I just need them to unban Chrome Mox so I can get. Was that a? How do we feel about that one, chat? Like, where are we at on this one on a scale of like 1 to okay? Was that a good one? How do we feel about sideboard cards? It's pretty good. Pretty good. Trigger. Yeah. Welcome to my sideboard card, opponent. So, Bant Spirits. I feel like playing 0 Reflector Mage in the 75 is kind of irresponsible. I also feel like I would like access to at least 1 to 2 more mana dorks. Like this Kira, while cute, I feel like should probably be a Bird of Paradise. Your hands that have mana dorks are much better than your hands that don't, right? And plus, like, look how clean this looks. If you just like turn that into a mana dork, it's like a respectable mana curve that like an adult built when they built the deck. Yeah, I probably playing both of these is greedy. I think I would cut one of these and play another Horizon Canopy probably, just for the consistency. And then I think this is probably a deck that can play some wet balls. Honestly, I don't know how bad this deck's affinity matchup is, but I have to imagine with all the flyers, it can't be too terrible. I think if this deck's affinity matchup is okay, I would replace at least these Stony Silences with Damping Sphere. No, I kind of like Negate. And with more mana creatures, the Negate becomes good as well. Razor Verge Thicket could be okay too. I just think you should probably have one more green source. Canopy's like another utility land, which is nice. Alright, it's 2:30. We have almost 1,000 people. Let's play another deck today. We got good numbers.